tomorrow. Man, good consistency, man. Remember, it's just the first week. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be a little bit, it's going to do a turn on the mental. It's going to do a turn on the mental. But what matter is the consistency of understanding what discipline is. And really, discipline is just being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It sucks sometimes, but you know what's the benefits of doing it. You know it is needed. You know you have to do what you have to do, so therefore you get up and do it. That's in any type of, I'll say that's in any type of discipline when you learn something from somebody. Some people don't have the understanding of humbleness when they sit down and have to reset their brain to learn something new or learn something that they should have been learned, but they lost track of it in due time. So for instance, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, how's that job going? He's like, man, it's going all right, but we got new management. I can't stand it, and things ain't moving right. I'm like, what's not moving right? They said, they want me to do this, they want me to do that. Well, that's your job.
right.
It's your job. You obviously you're doing what you're doing, but you're doing it at the state of your comfortability.
Right.
You have to do it in the program that is how it's built for to actually get the results and the difference you want. Right. If I just let you do everything you want to do and just right. And it's like, okay, it worked for this particular person or this particular situation, but it doesn't mean it's going to work all the time.
Right.
So therefore, let's break that bad habit. Mm-hmm. Or we can correct it by making it useful.
Right.
So you don't just do it out of panic. You do it for a purpose. There's a reason you're doing it. If I'm using both hands to push you away, why am I pushing you away? Am I pushing you away because you're just too much, you're overwhelming? It could be true. But make it a purpose and a reason after you do the push.
Right.
Push them, have something set up. Push, 1, 2. Push, step to the side, 2. Push, step to the side, 1, 1, 2. Make it a purpose of why you're doing it, you know? So I got to commend you because I train a lot of people in this city, you know, from all different walks of life. Individuals who are professionals, from people who just want their kids to learn, they will get bullied. The main difficult thing that all of them have is the consistency. They'll purchase sessions, they'll get certain packages, and then they just don't do it.
It's right.
It's too much, and it's only 30 minutes.
Right. The shoulders are, it's incredible workout on the shoulders. That's what dies out first.
Yeah.
When we first did our first session and you were just training me on the punches, that was hard enough. But when you're actually moving and sparring, it's such a humbling experience because you mentally just don't know what to do. And I think that's how most street fights are. It's just chaos, you know what I mean? And I now I understand what pros can do in a fight. It's a different level.
You can watch a fight,
and your quickness, like when you see guys with your quickness, but it's a skilled quickness I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I've never fought someone that moved like that before.
Right.
Ever.
For me, it's like in the streets or being someone who fought in a public eye or in an area he grew up in, without the skill set, you have to have one thing for sure, and that's just, you know, bravery, courage, heart, whatnot, you know, and abandon the fear of embarrassment. Like, what if you get knocked out? What if you gotta let that all go?
Right.
You know, right now you gotta focus on the win. Right. You know, and in the process of winning, or in the process of trying to win, sometimes it don't go your way. And in the process of doing it, you start to realize, like, what am I doing? Am I fast enough? But how you got this? And when I started to training and start learning, you know, body mechanics, mental warfare, and things of that nature, a lot of stuff just come easy. I've learned as an amateur, you know, fighting pros and things of that nature, just self-control. I don't have many fights at all outside of a ring or a cage.
Right.
Before learning this, I was in consistent fights, whether for something that was disrespectful to me or disrespectful to someone I love, and I got their back and we're gonna fight. And this is how I am. But as I learn, I start to realize my potential and what I can do to an average guy or a guy who just have a amateur background but no real good skill set to handle me, because I'm more aggressive, I'm more forward, and I'm more trying to hurt you bad type of thing. And I realized with you is that some of the words you use gotta be a little more different.
Like what?
Let's go, I'm ready, John. Let's get it, man. Get them up, let's go. Something like that rather than, oh, here we go. Like you're about to get on a roller coaster. So I
Right.
need you to say the
I
words
see that. Right.
to yourself to reflect what you want to do, even if you don't feel it. Say it till you
Well,
believe it.
I'll tell you, my resistance was really high after the first day.
Mm-hmm.
I felt awkward. I felt uncomfortable. And then like it reminded me of. Then I felt like back in college, going to practice. I dreaded going to practice.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what the experience is that if I went through this and I had a mentor, they would have told me not to dread to go to practice. That's why I didn't succeed in college sports the way I could, because instead of getting up and going and being the best I could be at practice, I just dragged my ass to practice to
Yeah.
get through it.
Yeah.
And that was the difference maker of being good and being a star in college versus just being average and getting pushed to the side. And it's like, I noticed that today because I was like, man, I don't want to do this. Man, I don't want to do this. It's going to be hard. But you know what? I'm not going to walk away from it. I like it. It's interesting, and I think everybody should be able to fight.
I think so too. As a trainer or an individual who was a trainee at one point, it was a certain coach. He came from a karate background, I believe, and he had a lot of body conditioning methods that were just difficult, challenging, and it got to the point where I wake up and I know I have to go to the class. I didn't want to go. I could care less how much I paid for the session. I'll let it all go. I know how it felt because it was like, oh my goodness, man, he gonna put us through some bullshit again. I get there before he get there, and like, oh, hopefully he pulls a no-show. He walking out.
Right, it's always the no-show. You're waiting for
You're like,
the
yeah.
no-show.
So you're
It's
looking
always
at the
a
time,
no-show.
like he ain't coming. Good.
Because I was about to call you today and see,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and I should have.
right.
But you know what? You're impressing me.
Right,
You know
right.
why?
Why is that?
Because a lot of people don't show up. And
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't a man of their word.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to do this, and you're showing me that you're a man of your word, and you show up. That's very rare.
Yeah, I mean, it's more
very
like this
rare.
understanding the old Scarface movie. When you say, all I got is my balls and my word.
Right.
And a lot of people overlook that, but honestly, as a man, that's really what you have. You either gonna
Either going to say what
say
you're going to
and do it, and
what
if you
see.
say it, have enough balls to do it.
Do it,
You
yes.
know, so that's the thing. What up, nephew? And the whole 9 yards of trying to put together the understanding of what it means to be where you want to be at this, it takes discipline. Muhammad Ali, true story. I read about it and I seen the video on YouTube. A guy said, Muhammad Ali, how many push-ups you do? They say you do 1,000 push-ups. Some say it's 2,000 or 3,000 push-ups. No, sit-ups. They say it's 3,000 sit-ups or 4,000 sit-ups. And he said, how do you want to know? He said something along the lines of, how do you want to know how many sit-ups you do? He said, you know how many I do? He said, think about it. I don't count when I do my sit-ups. He said, I just go. And when I just go, I just get in my mind to keep going till it hurts. Mm-hmm. And when the pain start kicking in, when I feel like I don't want to go, that's when I start counting.
That's when you start.
And they say, well, how many you do? He said, 10. 10. Think about it.
Right.
He going. He probably went past 2,000. And it start to burn on 2022. And when it start to burn and he ready to stop, that's when he start counting. 1, 2, when it's ready to give up,
That's
when
when it
it's ready
starts.
to
It
challenge,
doesn't start
that's when it
until you're
starts.
about to quit.
That's it.
You know what? That's a great insight, man. I tell you,
That's it.
the fact that you notice my state of mind tells me that I knew I was gonna learn from you, and this is the moment. Like the fact that you notice my state of mind.
Hell yeah.
I really respect you for that.
Hell yeah,
I
man.
really respect you.
It can get challenging. I mean, especially when you do something you're not comfortable with doing. It's foreign. You know, all of a sudden your left arm is in front of you, and then you gotta control your left arm the way you'll control your right. When your right is active because it's your dominant hand. You shake
Right. It's like
people's
this,
hands. You open doorknobs. You wave at people. It's your right hand. It's, you know, like how someone would consider their right hand man. That's that main thing. But that left, it's not that it's not strong or it's weaker. It's just not as active.
Right.
You don't use your left as much as your right.
Right.
But your left is honestly, if not just as strong as your right, you just have to use it.
Yeah,
So
right.
when we are in front of you,
those professional boxers, when they're jabbing with lots
oh
of power.
my goodness, I hate it. I don't. To this day, I don't like my jab. Even though people say you got a good jab, use it. I just don't have that confidence in my jab the way I have the confidence in all the other punches I can throw. But I understand it's useful. I understand the concept. Now, to break that comfortability when it came to you was put on the bodysuit. I got the headgear on, got the bodysuit, and I'm coming for it. And mind you, in moments, I'm still throwing punches in between. Touching your temple, your chin, your forehead. I want you to keep thinking like, hey, it's more than just 1, 2, 1, 2. You just
Right.
reset. It's a lot of dynamics of all kinds of elements going on. You punching, you watching your awareness of getting punched. You have to make sure your footwork is good. You got to maintain the balance. Because if I hit you hard enough, you can fall or you can stumble. If you hit me hard enough, I can stumble back or I can bounce back with thrust and try to bring that pressure on you so you don't see I'm hurt. It's all a chess game, of keeping a poker face on. The moments I'm watching, I'm like, oh, he throwing his punches, but he throwing like, no. Exhale. Ha, ha. I need you to breathe with those punches because your lungs is like this. Your heart rate is all the way up. This is true cardio. Your blood is pumping through your body, and everything that's coming in is through your nose. And inhale, inhale, inhale. Gotta exhale because I'm pushing hardcore different type of cardio on you. I'm coming in front of you punching, then I'm stepping back, telling you to come punch, then I'll grab you, then you have to push me off, and I'll push you off. Why am I grabbing you? I'm clinching you because you got your hands already high. It's heavy already, keeping them up like this. Your shoulders is burning. Your rotator cuff just want to be like, huh. I'll come grab you, squeeze it, then I push you, then you're like, all right, keep punching. Still time on the clock, keep going. So, to me, when you mix all those elements together, it's interesting because now you can watch a boxing match and appreciate 12 rounds of 3 minutes.
I appreciate it
12
before. I
rounds
appreciate
of
it now.
3 fucking minutes with 1 minute rest between. You can appreciate a mixed martial art fight where it's 5-minute rounds, 5 minutes. That's 25 fucking minutes worth of combat, of punching, kicking, takedowns. You're like, okay, this is no joke. Because me just doing a form of an exercise or a form of this, I was exhausted, or I could felt the burn, So it's just appreciating the discipline, the understanding of combat. That's all.
So how long do you think it would take me to build my skills to be decent?
It's a thing where you call can a black belt never practice again and still remain a black belt? Yeah, but you won't be just as good when you begin.
Right.
So there's always something that you can get better at and keep learning. You gotta have open-minded, that you have that fresh first student mindset that, yes, I learned this, I learned that, but I can always be better, I only met one fighter or one boxer that can probably fight without nobody in their corner, and that's Floyd Mayweather, where you just become a great, but more of like, if it was in black belt terms, like there are in different art forms of fighting where they have black belt, yellow belt, grandmaster, and all that. Floyd Mayweather boxing is like the highest level of black belt you can get. He's a great grandmaster type shit, because what makes him great in my opinion is that he he was given punishment in the beginning stages of his life and his career,
I saw those fights in the
giving
beginning.
punishment
Yes,
to people,
yeah.
dropping them. But sometimes the same power you generated and punishment you give doesn't mean your body can handle it. You fracture your hand. My hands is very fragile, you know, as far as like my fist. Like I hit something, I have to condition it because my hands is conditioned to touching titties and slapping ass and counting money. So I have to condition them for punching. But conditioning for punching is not easy, you know, because it hurts. And you could throw something harder on somebody's head, crack them, and split your knuckles apart.
Right.
You know, and especially just watch the show or watch the fights in bare knuckle boxing. They only wrap their wrists up and their thumb and leave their knuckles exposed. After they fight, their knuckles is double the size or triple the size because their hands is very fragile. No matter how hard and how tough you is, it sucks to hit something bare knuckle.
Right.
From studying self-defense classes and going to different ones, if I was fighting in the streets, I would throw knuckles more for the body. I try to avoid it from the head and use my palms and eye gouge in towards the face with my thumb.
So you don't want to break your
Yeah, I don't want to break my hand. It takes too long to heal. It limits a lot of things from driving, from playing a video game, simple stuff when you break your hand. It's just, if I had a fight, I'll try to use everything but my hands, knees, elbows, and palms.
Right.
Palm, I can punch this and damage, man, damage. Punch this and damage my knuckles. But with a palm, I can hit as hard as I can with no issues because the palm is just built different. It's a bone and a real thin layer of skin, and you hit. And I did that to people a couple of times when I needed to, self-defense wise, and it worked. You know, I took that from a fighter. I think his name was Bryce. Or he's like the grandfather of MMA, in my opinion. But I still say, man, how far you get is how far as you want to keep learning.
I want to keep going, man.
You know,
And I might not stop. I don't know. I like it.
I think in the process of learning, you're just going to be more and more indulgent, and I hope you do. So you know, like, this is something that you can teach a friend, you can teach a good associate. When someone say, "Yeah, I throw my punch like this," like, why would you throw it like that? When you should keep your elbows in, and you learn the technique. You see how you can, you know, transfer good body power. You got a good right hand without even like a stiff boom, good right hand. But if you learn the body mechanics, how to pivot your feet, turn with your hip, tuck your chin in, eyes still looking at your target and hitting at the same time, you're dropping people. Because a lot of guys ain't get touched in their chin a day in their life or never took a hard punch at all.
Right.
And of course, it's not really building it to be bullying, but building it if you need to use it.
Right.
You know, eventually.
That's awesome, man.
Hell yeah. What's up with